Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Bob.
Morning, Babu.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Shamesh, why are you getting issues on a daily basis? The same issues.
Same issues, don't know why the master node 1 is okay, but master is getting this issue.
What are you doing? You are doubling the missions.
Don't know, I am not doing anything, but still,
You
once
should-
it is done, again I want to Vagrant up, it is giving this error.
Yeah, it should work right. It is working for me, right?
Yeah, it is working for me. Don't know, I am getting the same error.
Okay.
Okay, I will deploy that.
If at all you are continuously getting the issues, leave your VMs. Go with any of the cloud. Don't
Okay.
waste your time unnecessarily.
Then I will build that means virtual machines manually. Then I will do it.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of you haven't sent the practice snapshot yesterday. What happened? I don't want to call the name. Arun, stay back. After this class, we are going to fix your issue.
Babu, can you repeat again?
Stay back after the class. We will fix your issue.
Yeah, sure.
No, it's a Rohit, right? Sorry, Arun, not you. It's Rohit.
Yes, Babu. I'll stay back.
Right. Okay. What were we discussing yesterday?
Yesterday we discussed labels and replicas.
Replica set. What is the purpose of the replica set?
In case a pod goes down, another one comes up, desired state of what a minimum desired and maximum desired.
The number of desired replicas. It is going to make sure that those many desired replicas are running always. What is the problem with an independent pod?
If one goes down, high availability, the other one will not come up in case the replica is involved.
Right. There is no way that someone can monitor and bring it back. That is the reason why we are going with the replica set. Right. Now, kubectl get pods. Okay, now assume like you want to log into the pod. There is a pod running. This is also a pod, right? This is
Yes.
also a pod. This is also a pod. All of them are the pod. But what is the difference between these two? One is being managed by your replica set. This is not being managed by your replica set. You can describe the pod. kubectl describe pods and the pod name. Can you see one statement here? What is that?
Replica set RS4.
Controlled by. Who is controlling this? Replica set, and the replica set name is RS1. But if you see this normal pod, if you see this normal pod, you will not be seeing that controlled by, right? So either way that you will be able to see who is managing that. Right now, I want to log into the pod. kubectl exec, same command, -it, and the pod name -bash. Now you are inside the pod. What do you mean by inside the pod? What it is going to have?
Our application.
What is the guarantee that your application is there inside the
Container.
Oh, the container will be there, the application is
Yeah.
running.
right? There will be a container inside that. Either you can run your application or you might be running a small script. Who knows, right? Right now, if at all that if you have that you are running two containers, are you getting my point? There is a way that you can run more than one container in the pod. You are still remembering that?
Yeah.
So when you say exec, if it is running with one container, it can directly log into this container. What do you mean by logging into the pod? You can't do anything. It's directly logging inside the container. You did the Docker exec, right? Same thing. Same thing that you are doing with Kubernetes. Kubernetes exec means it is going to log into the container. But my question is that if you have more than one container, to which container that it should log in? Container will be having the name. If you remember the spec that what you have written for your pod or deployment, you have defined a name for your container. Is that right?
Yes.
You have to use the container name if at all that you are running with more than
One container.
more than one container. I am inside the container and I'm pressing the top arrow. Okay, all you need to do here is that you have to define the container name. So here you need to give the container name. So it will go to that container. If you don't mention, it is going to go with single. If it is having single container, you don't need to mention the container name. Right. Well, you have used the replica set. So you know how to scale up, scale down your number of replicas based upon your requirement. Generally, when do you scale up the number of replicas? Whenever that you are assuming that you will be getting a more business, you will be increasing the number of replicas. But in your environment, you are going to do it dynamically. You are going to do it dynamically, which we will be seeing it later. Now you have a pod, and this pod can be part of the replica set. Right? So as of now, you know this. So this is a pod. This is a pod, and you are seeing this one as replica set. What is the purpose? It is going to maintain the high availability. So as of now, this is good. But as we discussed earlier, you will be following the agile model. So sprint. Within the sprint, what you generally do, you are going to release the changes related to that microservices or component. Am I right? Yes or no? For example, there is a change for your Paytm application. So you are going to release the next version. What do you mean by releasing the next version?
Changes over.
Now, what do you mean by releasing the next version? So you are
Applying
going
changes.
to build the new image with the new changes. Am I right? Assume like you are running with Paytm version 1. I'll say 1.0.0. Okay, now there is a requirement to add a new functionality, or add a any enhancements to your Paytm application. So the next version is going to be Paytm 1.1.0. Right? You know how to build the image. Right? You already know how to write and build the image. So you have created the image. Now you need to release this. You need to release this. How can you release this? Speak out, guys. How can you release this?
By rolling out new
By?
pods, new pods. That means new application.
No, the pod is already running, boss. That is with 1.0.0.
We want to apply the changes to the pod.
Right, very good. How can you apply the change? What was the command that we have discussed yesterday?
kubectl apply -f.
CTL apply. So either you can modify the image name in your replica set spec, or the other option is that kubectl set image kubectl set image -help. Right, so you are going to set the image like this. Set the image you are going to set the image like this. Image replica set, and you are going to define the name of your container. You are going to define the name of your container followed by the image. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Because if at all that you are running two containers within the same pod as a supporting container, so for which container that you are changing the image, you should know. Okay, so like this you will be changing the image so that it will be running with the new change. It will be running with the new changes that what we did as part of our Docker image build. Right? Now, if you want to roll back, what you need to do?
We need to use the old version.
Right, we need to use this image version. Right, roll out is this one, roll back is this one. Why do we need to do like this? Can't we have a automation way of doing this? That's where the deployment have come into the picture. What is that? Deployment. Before the deployment object introduced, they used to have replication controller. Yesterday we have discussed, right? They used to have the replication controller. By using the replication controller, they used to manage the releases. But once the deployment have come, it is easy to manage the releases, rolling outs and rolling backs, right? So for every sprint, what you do, you will be doing a rollout. You will be doing the rollout. If at all that there are changes for that component, so your developers will work and they are going to write the enhancement code for that. And that code, by using that code, they are going to build the image. Right? Who is going to build the image? They developers are going to build the image, not you. But you will be creating a pipeline for that to build the image also. That is the different case. Now that image is being tested in the development environment. Right? Once that is tested by the developer, then they will be giving you that image. How can they give you the image? Are you going to share the image, total image, or they are going to give you the image name?
Image name.
They are going to give you the image name. Why? Because the image will be there in the registry. So if you know the image name, you know how to pull. Right? So you are going to pull the image. So when you pull the image, it will be with Paytm develop. If I don't explain all this, you will not be knowing the purpose of deployment. Do remember, right? Now you are going to tag this. How can you tag the image? Ganesh, how can we tag the image?
By labeling.
No, question is very clear. I want to tag the image. How can we tag? What is the command? Suresh.
So that Docker tag image
Docker
tag
tag.
and that source image and that target what we are going to be.
It is as simple as that. This is actually 7-digit hash I am giving. Can anyone guess what is this hash? Can anyone guess why am I giving this? It is important, guys. It's not mandatory, but this is one of the way that you can isolate the image names for the same version 1.1.0. For example, who is going to test this image and how they are going to test the image? So you, as a DevOps engineer, you are going to deploy this image. How you are going to deploy this image in Kubernetes?
Pods or replica set.
Pod or replica set. As of now, pod or replica set, right? So you have deployed this image in your assume like pod only for time being. Okay, now that pod can be accessible from outside. Assume like it's application. Whoever running a pod by using Nginx, they should be able to browse that image like this. Take your public IP of your instance. Public IP of your I am talking about AWS instances. 192.168.0.10 assume like, and if you say 80 is default port, if you enter, automatically it is going to give you the Nginx. Can anyone try that? Anyone of you running with your AWS now, or is it stopped? Anyone of you running at the moment? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can try that later. Right, so you will be deploying this image in the Kubernetes. Now you know how to deploy this image in the Kubernetes. Am I right? Now your QA team, testing team is going to come, and since it is a running environment, your Paytm is a running environment, they are going to test the functionality that what they have modified as per the ticket, and they are going to do some integration testing also. So because of modifying this, is there any functionalities breaking, or is it expected, is working as expected? If at all that they haven't got the expected result, it could be maybe performance also matters for them. So what they do?
Raise a bug.
Who told raise a bug?
Arun,
Why do you need to raise a bug? This is still in QA only. We haven't released to the stage or prod. This is in the integration environment only. All you need to send it back. You need to send it back to the development team. You means not you, your testing team. Your job is to deploy that image in your integration environment, right? And if that is not working, your QA guy is going to send back to the development team. Now the developer is going to modify the code, and they are going to come up with another change. But the image name will be Docker, Paytm develop only from developer side. It will not change. You will not be maintaining versions for your development environment. Why? Because every time that you will be modifying, why do you need to maintain the version? If at all that you start maintaining the version for your develop environment, per day you will be seeing 100 versions. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Paytm : now the version will not be changing, right? So what is going to change? This hash. So this hash generally, from where they will get, when you commit your git code, your Docker, your source code, developers is going to develop their source code and they are going to push to the Docker, git repository. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So you are going to get the hash for that. Actually, 43 digits hash will be generated, but you will be considering only first 7. You can go with GitLab or GitHub. Anything is fine. For example, let us take this repo. And this is the branch. Any commits that they have done, we can see the commits. For example, release. Okay, if you see this, you will be finding the tags also. So these are the tags. These are the tags, but you should be commit IDs that you should be able to see. Let me see where actually that you will be able to see here. Maybe it is easy to get it here. This is called commit ID. Okay, actually this is going to be full in size. Commit SHA. If you see, this is going to be very big. See how much big is that? But when you see there, you can see only seven digits. So it's not digit, it's 7 alphanumeric. Are you getting my point? So for every commit, you are going to generate new commit ID or SHA. This you can take as a reference. That means, for example, when the developer is committing the first changes, he is going to get one commit ID, right? So that one I'm going to use with the tag. So as a DevOps engineer, I will come to know that this image, what is the change? This image, what is the change? I can see that I can go to the commit in the Git. In the Git, you can go to the commit ID and you can verify what got changed. So when you are committing, are you going to send an image along with that? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Without sending the commit, how do you push the code? Who said no? Arun?
No, you mentioned image, right?
No, whatever it is. No. I am not talking about the image. I am talking about your source code. While you are pushing, you will be giving a message of the commit, what you are changing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we need to commit the change.
Right. So the commit message will be there. When you say git log, you will be seeing this hash, right? Commit ID with the message. So if I see this commit ID in your git log, I should be able to understand for what change that you did, right? Are you getting? So whatever that I am showing here is related to the Docker image, but this will not be there in the your Git repo. Arun, I don't know why are you confusing here. Okay, the Git is for the source code, for your source code, whatever the code that you are writing, Java, .NET, whatever that you are writing, that will be placed in your Git repo. So that repo that you will be using as part of your Docker file. If you run, we had used run, git clone, and the repo. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Right. So this clone, what I will do, I will copy this, and I am going to place this as part of my Docker file as a developer. I'm talking about as a developer. So the new source code you will be writing, you will be placing as part of your Docker image. This is the Docker file that you are writing. Okay, so you are going to run git clone and the repo, right? So what will happen if I build this image? Inside this, my full source code will be part of my image. Okay, I am talking about this one. So for example, first time when you build the image, I am going to use the hash that that you have you got it when you are committing your changes. So what I will understand? Oh, this image is having the changes that they made first time, right? By seeing the commit message, I will be able to understand. Are you guys able to understand what I'm saying? And when the second time changing the code, what they do? So in their local mission, they are going to develop the new code, and they are going to do git add to the branch, git add, right? Whatever the files, and git commit -m. Now you will be able to remember the message that what you will be giving. Git push. When you push, what will happen, Arun? Is it going to create a commit ID?
No. At the time of commit only it will create a ID.
Whatever it is, at the time of commit, it is going to generate the commit ID with the commit message, right? If I am using this commit ID for my Docker, will you be able to understand what changes are there in your Docker image with respect to the source code?
Yeah.
Yes.
And second time when you are doing, again, second time when you are doing your code changes, are you going to repeat the same? Are you going to repeat the same?
Yes.
Yes, of course, you are going to repeat the same. But this time, the commit ID will change. This ID that I am going to use as part of my Docker image tag. So what I will understand, this image is having these changes. This image is having these changes. Okay, so now if this is working fine for the QA engineer, what they will do? So they will be moving the ticket to the next level. So you as a DevOps engineer need to release for the stage and then prod. Right. So when you are releasing, you will not be deploying this image, right? Again you will tag it. So for example, for the stage and prod, you will be using the same version. I'm telling you the industry standards, guys. How you are going to tag Docker tag Paytm colon. So out of these, which is the good image? The second one, right?
SW, yeah.
Yeah. So I will be retagging this -swd12w. How many of you started working with Git? I told last week can do ABCD of the Git. How many of you have done that time?
Yes, Babu, I have.
Right. When I am saying there should be a reason, guys, you have to follow for that. It is not 1.0, this is 1.1, right? 1.1, and now you see, this is your production image. This is your production image. This one you need to deploy to the stage. Okay, so when you are deploying this image 1.1.0 in the production, what will be the image that will be already running? It's this image, right? 1.0.0. So you should understand the flow. First, we are deploying the image to the stage. At that point of time, your production is running the previous version already. Right. So if at all that you are not getting any issues with the stage, then on the production day, we are going to deploy the change to the prod. Same image, right? You don't need to tag it because stage and prod, you will be maintaining the same version. You may need to revise the video to understand the flow for the one who is new to the Git. If you don't understand, no problem. You can leave it, but you should start working with Git, guys. I'm telling you, you should start working with Git. It's not a rocket science. It is very easy. You will enjoy like anything. Just take one YouTube video or go to directly to the GitHub documentation and start working on it. Anyway, you have a Docker client machine, right? So Docker Git will be by default installed. Git version. If it is not installed, it's not that difficult to install. Right? You see the Git already installed. So you can start working with the Git. So you try to create a repo in your Git and try to push the code from here to there, all the stuff. Okay, let's come back to our actual discussion. Why are we discussing all these stories? Because that's what that you do on your daily basis. Now, this is the actual point, right? Rolling out. Rolling out means this one. Rolling back means this one. So at this moment, when you are using replica sets, you are managing them, rolling outs and rolling out and rolling backs manually. But you will not be doing that. Why? You have to automate everything. That's where the deployment have come into the picture. Deployment means it is going to manage both, I can say, replicas. So it can manage the replica set. So the replica set is going to manage your
Pods.
pod, right? Your pods. This is called deployment. Right now, if you understand the deployment, your deployment spec is going to have the replica set spec. Your replica set spec is going to have the pod spec, right? So your deployment, okay, now the question here is that, is your deployment is going to provide the high availability for your pods?
Yes.
No. No.
No.
Okay, your deployment is to maintain only rollout, rollback. It will not provide the high availability. But that deployment is associated to, or it is going to holding one replica set. that replica set is going to provide the high availability of your pods. This is the pod, right? This high availability is part of replica set job,
Replica set.
not the deployment job.
Okay.
Not the deployment job. Right. What are you trying to achieve by creating a deployment? Because deployment means it will be running all the times. Okay. And for every changes that you do, you are going to maintain the new releases. Anyone heard about blue-green deployment or canary deployments?
Yes.
That's not related to the Kubernetes. That's there from ages. That is a process, right? When you are releasing new changes, you will not allow full traffic for all new instances. Instead, assume like out of 10, you will be releasing the traffic for the only 2 instances that has the new change. Based upon that, they will slowly increase the number of instances. So if time permits, we will be seeing that one also. But first, let us try to understand the deployment. So when you are creating a deployment spec, how are you going to create deployment? Inside that, you are going to have the template spec, replica set spec. Inside that, you are going to have the pod spec. But one good part of creating the deployment is you can create deployment from command line. kubectl create -help. I told you, right? If you find it inside this, you have an option to create it from the command line. Okay, so first let me create it from the command line, then I will show you from the manifest. kubectl create deploy. What is the shortcut name for my deployment?
Deploy.
How do I know?
kubectl -help.
kubectl
Git -help.
-I resources.
right. kubectl API resources. I know that first you will be getting get. With the get, you cannot list out because you don't need to get it. The API resources are part of your kubectl. kubectl is the client. You don't need to connect to the API server for that. Okay, you don't need to connect to the Kubernetes master to get the components that is being managed by your kubectl. -help. Right. kubectl create, deploy, deployment name, and the image. That's it. As simple as that. I'll say Amazon. Amazon is my deployment name. -image is equal to some image that what you have created. I think Arun, I had asked you to create one image based upon your development knowledge. Have you tried that?
Yeah.
What is the image that you have created for which application?
I have created one in IntelliJ. I have created one application and I have Dockerized.
Right. How was your experience?
Yeah, it is new to me, and I have used all the Docker commands.
Docker file command instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, if you have that image, you can start migrating. I mean to say, you can start using that image as part of your Kubernetes itself, Kubernetes also. Because you know what that application is going to do and how you are going to access that and all, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you have a deployment created. kubectl get deploy. These shortcuts we are going to use from Monday. kubectl get deploy. Right, you are going to see the deployment name. What is the deployment name?
Amazon.
Amazon. How many are showing as one of one? One of one is means number of instances. You haven't mentioned the number of instances. So by default, it is going to create with one, right? Is it up to date? Yes. And is it available? Yes. Now, kubectl get rs. You are seeing a replica set name Amazon iPhone some alphanumeric digit. What is that? Have you created that replica set?
No.
No.
No. When you created the deployment, it has created the replica set because replica set is going to be part of deployment. Now, can you see a pod with Amazon?
Yeah.
Right. So when you create a deployment, with the deployment name hyphen some of alphanumeric, it is going to create a replica set. And you know that, right? If a pod is getting created from the replica set, it is going to add some 5-digit alphanumeric, right? So by seeing this, you will be able to identify which are part of the same application, right? So now let us see whether you are going to have the high availability. How can we check? kubectl delete pods pod 1. If you delete, okay, the default deletion time is 30 seconds. When you are running a shutdown command in your server, the server will not going to shut down immediately. It is going to have some grace period. How much is the grace period in Linux? Shamish?
It's 1 minute.
Okay. So in the same way here also, the pod will not stop immediately. It is going to wait for 30 seconds. Right. Now you can see that the pod, did the pod name got changed?
Yes.
Why?
New replica set.
No.
No. It's a new pod. It's a new pod. Who have created this? Is it the deployment or replica set?
Replica set.
Play.
Who said the deployment?
Based on replica set, it will read.
Right. Replica set is responsible to create that, not the deployment. You have to be very clear in this area. Okay, let us try to create a spec for the deployment. Can we? Vi deploy. Are you guys clear so far?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one doubt. Can I ask?
I'll give time for the doubts.
Okay.
We are in between the concept. So let me go to the reference page. You can go to the documentation page also. Oh, sorry. Okay, reference page. Reference is reference page. So in your certification, you will not be able to create these many tabs. There will be only 2 tabs. One is for the examination, another one is for your Kubernetes. You open either kubernetes.io, concepts or reference, that is up to you. Can you see the deployment in your left side?
Yes.
Come here, and who is going to help me in writing the spec?
Myself, I will help.
Okay, Suresh, wonderful. Okay, so let us start writing. It is easy, guys. I told you yesterday. If you know the way to write this spec, whether it's 10 lines or 1,000 lines, doesn't matter.
API version, kind, and given name, metadata.
We can remember this, no problem. But recommended is copy paste because of case sensitive. is it a core group or apps group?
Apps group.
Apps group. So apps
Apps
group
slash
means you have to
V1.
mention the group and the kind. What is the kind? Deployment.
deployment.
Metadata. Metadata is of type
Yes.
dictionary. 2 spaces.
Spaces.
Name of your deployment.
Sir, hyphen name we need to give.
Okay. Suresh, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the type of dictionary. Dictionary means 2 spaces. Array means 1 hyphen and next space.
Okay, sir.
Flipkart, and I can write the spec. This is the spec of your deployment. You should be very careful here. You will be seeing multiple specs here. How many specs that you will be able to see, you know? How many specs that you are going to be able to see? One is pod spec, replica set spec, deployment spec, right? So you are writing the deployment spec now. So spec is also a type of dictionary, right? See here, this is deployment spec. Can you see the name? It's a deployment spec. Go inside that. All I need to have here is that selector. Why do we need to have the selector? To select the number of replicas. Selector and number of replicas you can mention. What else? Strategy and template. Strategy and template. What happened to the war, guys? Is it cooling down or still going with the same phase?
Yeah, it is cooling down.
Okay.
It may cool down.
So I think Putin have sent a message to Samish. What
No,
Samish?
no, there is a message. Like Ukraine president, he accepted some conditions of Russia.
Okay, wonderful. But he's not there in Ukraine, right?
There in Ukraine.
No, he moved out of Ukraine, I think.
No, he said like,
He's going to stay back. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So when you go for the strategy, you will be having 2 strategies. You will come to know what is the strategy in a minute. Type strategy. See, if you don't see anything, that means it's a dictionary. If it is an array, you will be seeing array beside this. Okay. Right. Type is rolling update, and you are going to type is the rolling update. Type is a string. String means you have to write like this. Rolling update. And if it is rolling update, you need to define the rolling update here. What is the rolling update? Dictionary, right? So here, max search, max unavailable. Max search is 1. I'll say max unavailable. I will explain this. What is this? I'll explain. For time being, I'm just writing the spec. Right? Replica selector, and if at all that you got stuck in writing the spec, here you will be having an option. Go to the deployment. Deployment. So in the concepts, if you go for the deployment, you will be getting all information about your deployment. You see here, clearly you are going to get it here. Spec, replica, selector, right? And this is the template session. So this template session, whatever that is there in your replica set, you can copy paste that, right? you can copy paste that. So now, where are we? Template. So let's come here. Go to the template. Right, this is the template. What is the template that you are seeing here? Pod template. Go to the pod template, and whatever that is there in your replica set, you can copy paste the same, no problem. So here, this is also a dictionary and the spec. Metadata, you can give the name as Flipkart. Labels are important, right? Without labels, replica set can't identify the number of replicas. App : Flipkart. Spec. So here, spec means you are going to define the containers and the name. So you can define the containers. Containers is of type what? Array or dictionary?
Array.
Array, right? Array means it should start with hyphen. Name Flipkart. Image Nginx. And what else that you can maintain? That's it. So whatever the labels that you are giving here, you need to give the same in your selector. If you go to the selector, you have to mention either matching labels or matching expressions. How can you see that? Go back. Go back here, selector, right? Go to the label selector. Here you will be having either matching expressions or matching labels. Let me go with the matching labels. I will be also showing you the matching expressions. Matching labels is of type dictionary. Copy, paste this. That's it. As simple as. As simple as. Right? The first four elements are the grand. Second one is the parents. And third one is the child. And fourth one is the grandchild. You can see the hierarchy. If it is 1000 lines also, the way of writing the spec is same. Right? kubectl apply. kubectl apply.
-K F.
Yeah. Hyphen dry hyphen run. Any indentation syntax errors, it is going to throw the error. If you are getting this created dry run, that means there is no syntax errors. Right. kubectl get deploy. Right now you can see that Flipkart is running 2 of 2. What does it mean? 2 desired and 2 actual. Right? They are running. They are running. How can I scale my Flipkart application? Assume like there is a big billion day coming. So as prepared, I want to double the work, double the capacity. How can I do that?
kubectl scale hyphen
kubectl
replicas
scale
hyphen F. I mean
scale
hyphen replicas.
hyphen help. Oh, sorry. Right. So you want to scale the number of replicas to your deployment. Okay. I'm going to take this kubectl scale the number of replicas to 4. Number of replicas to 4. To whom? Deploy. What is the deployment name? Flipkart. Either you can give like this or like this. Both will work. Deploy or deployment. Anything will work. Right now, if you see, it is scaling to 4 at this moment. Yeah, now you can see that. Right, you are able to scale. Right, now I want to change the image, rollout. That is what that actually that we are expecting, right? This is what we are expecting with respect to the deployment. We want to roll out the new change. So assume what is the present version? Nginx. So let me go with the Docker Hub and try to get the new image or different image. I don't know, nowadays I'm going to bed almost after 3 and waking up early. It's like a very busy life, right? You don't know when the Monday is coming and when Friday is coming. All you will be remembering Saturday, Sundays. Again, Monday will come. The two with SRE profile, guys. You are going to responsible for your application for SRE profile. I'm talking about. DevOps means you will be managing the releases, but if you are in the SRE profile, you may need to responsible for your infrastructure also. That means on-call handling also will be there. But anyway, when you are doing on-calls, you will be getting client. Otherwise, nobody will do on-calls. Okay, let me take Nginx with image tag as Perl. This is not the image, this is the tag, right? Nginx : Perl. So let me roll out the change. kubectl. How can we roll out the change? What actually that you need to do? Rollout means. Venkat, what actually that you need to do as part of the rollout?
Sir, roll out.
Okay, what actually that you will be changing here? See here, see this. What are you changing here? What are you doing here?
Version, sir. Version.
Version of the image. So you need
Yes.
to deploy the new image to your deployment, right? That's what we are going to do. How can we deploy the new image? There are many ways. One way is that kubectl set image -help. You don't need to remember all the commands, guys. You have to habituate with this. Okay, kubectl set image. I want to set the image for my deployment. What is the deployment name? What is the deployment name? Flipkart. And image. What is the image that you are running with?
Nginx colon
ng
Perl.
nginx colon
Perl. PRL.
Nginx Perl. That means which image that you are changing. Okay, for example, the deployment Nginx image container image to Nginx 1.9.1.
Give Nginx equal to Nginx colon Perl.
No, actually, this is the container name that what you have given. I told you, right? If you don't know whether you will be running with a single container in the pod or multi-container in the pod. What is your container name that you have given? You remember that what you have given?
Flipkart.
Flipkart. Container name and the image name, what you are doing. So you have to is equal to and this is the image, right? Earlier we are using Nginx colon latest. Now we are using Nginx Nginx colon Perl. spell is the tag. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so now earlier image is Nginx colon latest. Colon latest. Now you are changing to Nginx colon Perl. Rolling out. Rolling out. Let me see whether you are able to roll out this change. You can do try run here also, guys. kubectl get deploy. Can you see this? You are seeing 2 of 3 of 4.
F4.
Right? So only 3 are available. The 4th one is coming up. kubectl rollout, very important. Rollout status deploy deployment name. If you don't give the deployment name, it is going to show for everything, for all deployments. You can see the status. Right. Can you see the last message? What it is saying?
Deployment got successful rollout.
Successfully rolled out. Successfully rolled out. That means it has deployed with the new image. It has deployed with the new image. How do we know which image it is running with?
Or describe.
Right. You can describe the pod, or you can describe the replica set, or you can describe the deployment also. Tell me which one that you want to describe. Let us describe the deployment itself. kubectl describe deploy deployment name. Can you tell me which image that it is?
Nginx Perl.
Where can you see that?
After containers, pod template.
Right? Can you see here the image? Yes or no?
Yes, we can see.
Right. So what does it mean? This deployment is running with the new image. Are you guys clear with that?
Yeah.
Now, I want to roll it back. I want to roll back the changes. How can I roll back the changes?
Rollout. Sorry, rollback.
kubectl rollout history for your deployment. Deploy Flipkart. Right? You can see 2 revisions. You can see 2 revisions. I think you can describe the revision number also. If you, because you are not seeing the change cause here, you have an option to update the change cause also, but I will be showing it later. But now I want to see what is this revision and what is this revision. So you can define the revision name. You are going to get some details. You can see here, if in the revision 1, you have only the Nginx latest. If you don't mention, that means Nginx latest. If you see the revision 2, can you see the image name?
Yeah.
So now you want to roll back to the Nginx latest, right? Nginx. So how do we roll back? kubectl rollout and you have an option to undo. Can you see here undo? So if you do undo, what will happen? Undo, deploy, Flipkart. If you do undo, what will happen?
Roll back to revision 1.
Roll back to the Nginx latest. Right? Okay, I am rolling it back. You can see that kubectl rollout history
Is missing.
Deploy Flipkart rollout status. Right, it is already rolled out. Now you can describe this and you can see the message that what it is running with. Are you guys with me?
Yeah, yes.
So what is the image that you are seeing?
Nginx, only Nginx.
Is it rolled back?
Yes.
Yes, it is rolled back. But let me, if you see the history, are you able to see 1, 2 or 2, 3?
1, 2, 3. It will be 3.
Why 1, 2, 3? If at all that it is 1, 2, 3, is it possible to go back to 1 again?
No.
Then
1.
1 is done.
1 is done.
Now you should be able to see 2 and 3. Right?
Okay.
So 1 has replaced with 3, right? Are you getting my point? So 3
Yes,
is
yes.
having Nginx image. Earlier 1 used to have that. So whatever the changes that are there as part of the revision 1, now those are part of the revision 3. If at all that you want to describe or roll out history, and with the revision you can see. Revision, if you give 3, you should be able to see the Nginx. Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Here. So revision 2 is running with Nginx :Perl.
Perl.
Let me use another image. This time I am not doing from the command line. Instead, I am going to do the different mechanism. kubectl edit, deploy. All these options you should know, guys. That's up to you what option that you use. kubectl edit, deploy. Deployment name is Flipkart.
That's it. Alias.
Right. I am editing the live object deployment. Live object. So can we edit anything that we want? No. There are only few fields that are mutable. Remaining things and all unmutable or immutable. Right? So the commonly things that are allowed to mute the live object is the labels, image, number of replicas. Okay, you can't change the name of the deployment. You can't change the name of the deployment. Okay, that part you should be very clear, guys. You can add the label here if you want, it is allowed, but you can't change the name. Right, now you want to change the image. Container image, here it is running with Nginx. Let me take another image. Where is my... Okay, now let me take another image. I don't know what is this mainline. Let me take mainline image, mainline tag. Right now at this stage, you have rolled back. At this stage, you have rolled back to the previous image. Now you are deploying another image, Nginx :mainline. Okay, mainline. main line. Right, I want to roll out to this change. Okay, I want to roll out to this change. Again, it is coming from here to here, right? Okay. Let me change the tag. Are you guys enjoying the Kubernetes? Main line. What is missing? It is not allowing. Am I changing the name or the image? Image only, right? Okay. There is indentation problem. This is very important, guys. Right. Flipkart was not valid. Edit the object below lines beginning with the hash will be ignored and empty line. Okay. Deployment app was not valid. Why it is going back? Indentation only. Okay, sorry. Indentation. Right, now it is able to, where is the rollout status? Right now you see here, it is rolling out one by one. Now it is rolled out. If you see rollout history, you will be able to see three revisions. So this is running with PEL, right? This is running with Nginx colon latest, and the first one is Nginx colon Perl. This is running with Nginx colon mainline. You can switch back to the any version. Okay, when you are doing undo, if you don't mention the revision number, it will go to the previous. Okay, if you want to go to the particular revision, you have to mention the revision number. I want to go to the revision 2. If I go to the revision 2, what is the image that I can expect?
It will go to Perl.
It will go to the Perl, right? iPhone revision only. Let me see any spelling mistake. Correct only. Rollout, undo, deploy, revision equal to, I'll say 2. Okay, 2 revision. I missed this. 2 revision. Not just -hyphen revision, it is 2 revision. Now you should be able to see the image. You will not be getting anywhere all these guys. No book will tell all this. Okay, so you have to, because you have to thorough in deployments on in your daily activities. Deployments only you will be doing. You will not be working with the pods. You will not be working with the replica sets. Only with the deployments you will be working. So now this image is going to be PEL, right? Okay, you can revise that today's video and you need to practice everything. Deployment is not completed yet. Tomorrow also we are going to understand more about the deployments. Questions, guys?
Babu, I have a question.
Arun, tell me.
When to use kubectl apply, when to use kubectl create?
Very good question. When you are automating your release, you can create a YAML file. So generally, you will never run the commands kubectl create, deploy, and all. You don't do it, because if you are doing like this, okay, how your colleague comes to know how you have created the deployment, right? That is the reason why always you need to create the manifest files. That is the recommended approach in the industry. Always use the manifest files, YAML files. That is the recommended approach, and it will be easy for you to manage your releases from the pipeline or from the automation if you go with the manifest files. Next question. It's not like when do we, you can go with either manifest or command if you are working on your own, but when you're working in the team, it is good to go with the manifest files. Next question, guys. Questions?
Can I? No, this is regarding my machine's deployment. So can I do that VMs?
I
Need to
don't
install
know.
any other packages?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because it is working for everyone. If it is not working for you, you are doing something else, Shamish. What are you doing in the missions? And it was working with Docker. In between, you did something. Some network change, something got changed. We don't know. And you will be doing things differently than others. That's why you are having 20 gig of RAM. I haven't seen 20 gig of RAM. Guys, any one of you have seen 20 gig of the RAM for any of the mission? Samish?
I have that machine, so that's why.
That's what. Good that things to do differently. I appreciate that. But whatever the issues that you are facing, that also you need to resolve. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. For today's practice, whatever that we did step by step, please perform it. If you can do that, then only you will be able to understand tomorrow's class. Otherwise, it's going to be painful for you. Again, I am repeating, I don't bother if you don't read, I don't bother if you don't sleep. I will feel only if you are not sending the practice snapshots. You can think whatever you like, not a problem. But for me, you have to practice. That's it. Okay, guys. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.
Babu, should we wait?
Yeah, Rohit. Remaining guys can leave. Let me stop the recording.